Previously on this adventure, my son, a few close friends, and I headed out into the Anza-borrego desert and explored the mud caves, sandstone canyon, and some other really interesting areas of the desert. Later in the evening, we found a great camp spot, had some good chow, and settled in for the night just as a thunderstorm decided to hit. In this video, we'll be crossing the vastness of the Bradshaw Trail, doing some more camping, and then heading north to Sedona, Arizona for some amazing wheeling with a couple new friends. But the rest of this journey was not without its challenges. Stay tuned. It is a great morning. I mean, it's just so beautiful. The sunrise coming over the rocks this morning. It's awesome. This was a perfect camp spot. Now, I did mention that we expected a little weather, and we got it last night. The thunderstorm, the rain, it hit hard last night. We got drenched. In fact, my Jeep looks like it hasn't been off-roading. It's completely clean. But you know what? It calmed down. Nice night. This morning is perfect. Now the plan is we're going to finish packing up here, and we are going to head all the way north of the Salton Sea, and we're going to hit the Bradshaw Trail and drive the 70 miles across the Bradshaw Trail today, and hopefully find an awesome camp spot at the end. Should be some cool things to see along the way. This should be a great day, guys. Let's go. One thing to mention here before we go get our Jeeps all muddy is we had a discussion late last night about where we were camping. Anytime there's a thunderstorm in the desert, you need to be very careful about your location due to flash floods. We did a careful assessment of where we were camping, and we were located on higher ground and made the call to stay put. There was some evidence of running water the next morning, but it was all much lower on the desert floor. I can't overstate this enough. You need to be very cautious when you are out here in the desert and you get the rain. Sometimes you don't even have to see the rain to get a flash flood. Oh, and anytime you get rain out on the trail, you know that only means one thing. Yep, we're about to get really muddy.
This trip is amazing. The Southwest is definitely my favorite place. So there's so many things to see. There's so many things that I've already haven't seen before that I've just seen in the last day. It's awesome.
Anza always delivers. This place is beautiful. We had a beautiful night and a good night's sleep, and can't wait for today's events.
After a short drive out of Buttes Pass along the Borrego Mountain Wash Trail, and now with about 50 pounds of mud stuck to our Jeeps, it was time to air up and head towards the northeast side of the Salton Sea to find the Bradshaw Trailhead. It was about an hour drive to the north side of the lake, and the Salton Sea is 15 miles wide and 35 miles long, and it's the largest lake in California. And from a distance, this seems like a beautiful place, but now it just smells like low tide. Because of rising salinity in the lake over the years, it's not one you want to swim in anymore, and there are several abandoned buildings around the area these days. The first part of the trail took us along the Coachella Canal that stretched for several miles. We eventually crossed over the other side of the canal and connected up with Summit Road, which will take us all the way to the Bradshaw Trailhead. Except for a couple water crossings, this is all easy dirt road trail, but it does take you along a military reservation with unexploded ordnance on the other side from aircraft bombing practice. You don't want to be on the wrong side here. So we've been traveling on the road for a while to finally get here. Now we are on the northeast side of the Salton Sea, and we've been passing along the canal to get here to the trailhead of the Bradshaw Trail. And this trail is a long trail that was built back in the late 1800s to get gold miners all the way from western Arizona all the way here to Southern California. It's about 70 miles long. There should be some cool things to see along the way, but we're a little short on time, so we might have to press on. Hopefully we can stop and see a few things along the way, but tonight we've got to find a place to camp, and hopefully we won't be wheeling in the dark to get there, but we're ready to go. Let's hit the road. After about 5 miles down the trail, we reached Eagle Mountain Railroad Bridge, which was built in 1947 and was used until 1986 to haul iron ore from the Kaiser Eagle Mountain mine. This is a popular destination for many off-roaders, as there are a couple other trails near here. It was a great opportunity for us to stop and have some lunch and talk to these other folks out here that were out having a great adventure. There are some reports that they'll be removing this bridge and selling it for scraps. So not sure how much longer it will be here, but if those reports are true, I'm going to be sad to see it go. We couldn't stay for very long because we still had many, many miles ahead of us. Time to head out. For me personally, I really find clarity out in a place like this. Just away from everything, it's so peaceful. I love tackling a difficult trail with lots of obstacles, but this type of adventure, in my book, is equally as enjoyable. To be out here in the middle of nowhere, experiencing this with my son and a few close friends is something I hope I can do many, many, many more times. This is living. Along the 70 miles of the Bradshaw Trail, there are many offshoot trails that will lead you to some old mines and other scenic sites along the way. Because we are making a push to get towards the end before nightfall, we are bypassing most of them. There are, however, several wrecked abandoned cars along the way, and admittedly a little disappointing to see. Another famous piece of, junk out here is this bolt mold. It's a strange sight to see here in the middle of the desert, but we had to stop and inspect. But honestly, it's really just trash on the trail if you ask me, and doesn't need to be here. All our Jeeps have just been getting muddier and muddier to this point, and don't let my license plate fool you. I hate washing off mud. The Bradshaw Trail has so much beauty, and the rain and storm clouds are making it even more amazing. Next time we come out here, we'll have to slow down a bit. But for now, we gotta press on. right, guys, so we are making a really good time this last 2 hours. I was a little worried because about halfway through it was going a little slow, but those last 2 hours we've been really crushing it. So you can see here we started the Salton Sea. We've come just about 60 miles, a little over.
Nice.
So we only have about 9 or 10 miles to go. And at this speed, we'll be off the trail in like 30 minutes. So what I think is now might be a good opportunity to start scoping a camp spot.
Let's do it.
Because I was going to wait until maybe like the last couple of miles, but it's so beautiful out here and we're making such good time. I don't think we need to be that close. So I say the first camp spot that we see that looks awesome, we grab it.
Perfect.
You think we should look for a higher elevation area?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty flat for the rest of the way here.
Yeah.
I mean, the mountains are out there. I mean, I was thinking the same thing back there. I was like, it's pretty open, but at least we've got like trees over here. So what do you think? So I think we'll just drive. We'll kind of slow it down. And if we see something, somebody sees a spot, just holler and we'll pick it.
Perfect.
That'll work.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Well, we found a great little camp spot. You know, right after that driver's meeting, we just decided, you know what? There's a spot right over there. Let's pull in. Perfect little spot, a nice open area. We've got the Jeeps all circled up. And what an amazing sky we have all around us. I mean, this sunset is so beautiful, guys. Now, the plan is we're gonna relax tonight. We're gonna get some dinner. We've had a lot of hard miles on the road. This has been a great trail. But we need to get some chow and get a good night's rest because we're gonna hit the road early in the morning and head up to Sedona, Arizona and tackle some awesome trails up there. What a great adventure so far, guys.
It was really great to finally relax and get an opportunity to just kind of discuss the day's events. It had been such a great day, even though we had pressed hard. And of course, we were all curious to what fantastic meal Marco would be conjuring up this evening.
I cannot even tell you how good it is to camp with Marco because he is always cooking up the most amazing food. He's making fish tacos out on the trail tonight, guys. Come on. That's so good. So good. Something we do all the time is grab an apple pie when we're going through the mountains for our trips. And this one's been sitting in the back of the Jeep for the last 2 days. And now it's kind of an off-road apple pie, but I'll bet it still tastes really good.
I think this little guy was hungry as well. You gotta watch
Dude,
out.
he's fast. Get away from me.
Here. Look at him.
Get away from me.
There was no sleeping in the next morning. We had to get up early, get things packed, and head on out. We had places to go and people to see. But of course, I gotta have my coffee.
We had so much fun at camp last night, you know, just sitting around, hanging out, eating some chow, talking guy stuff. It was a great night. And man, the critters came out last night, which was a little freaky. One of those tarantulas got inside my son's tent, which was a little bit funny. Look, we are all packed up. We're on perfect time, which is crazy because I was a little worried we were going to be off schedule last night. But we're gonna do the last about 9 miles of Bradshaw Trail. We're gonna hit the freeway, head to Sedona, Arizona, and then we're gonna meet up with a couple of good friends there who I think one's got a Tacoma, the other one's got a 4Runner, and we're gonna do Broken Arrow Trail, Schnibley Hill, and then we gotta find a place to camp, but it's supposed to rain tonight, so that should be interesting. But we're ready to go, guys. Let's do this.
I think somebody might have forgot to put their Jeep in 4-wheel drive. It happens to the best of us. So we didn't get off the trail quite as fast as we had hoped, but honestly, we weren't feeling rushed at all, and everything was really coming together. I mean, we just put a ton of miles on the dirt over the last 2 days, and knock on wood, no major issues so far. After pulling over to air our tires back up and scrape off a whole lot of that excess mud, we then began the 4-hour drive towards Sedona, Arizona. And I love driving into Sedona. The red rocks on the way in are so beautiful. I love Sedona.
Rob, stop taking pictures.
So guys, we finally made the 4-hour drive up here to Sedona, and I forgot just how beautiful this place is. I love Sedona so much. The red rocks are just so awe-inspiring. Now we are here at the beginning of Broken Arrow Trail, and I love this trail. This is a trail I did many years ago, and I'm so excited to be back here and bring the team. And we've got two guys that have joined us. One is a Toyota 4Runner and the other one is a Toyota Tacoma. We got Alan and then Taylor. We're really happy to have these guys out on the trail with us today. So we're gonna go have a blast on this trail, and then by that time the sun should be down and we're gonna do a little night run up Snibbly Hill, which should be a good time. And then we gotta find camp. Finding camp in the dark is always interesting, but this is gonna be a great day. I'm so excited to go hit this trail, guys.
Broken Arrow is a short 4-mile loop here in Sedona that you can only access by driving through a small residential area, so please be respectful when coming to the trailhead. It's a moderate trail and there are a few fun obstacles along the way, but the red rock scenery for me is what makes this trail so special. There are several trails here in Sedona to explore, but if you only have time to explore one while you are here, this is the trail you must do. I love this trail. It's full of slick rock like Moab, and Devil's Staircase is a pretty fun little obstacle which you'll see here soon, and the views the whole time are awesome. You will encounter several of the pink Jeep tours when you're out on this trail. Just make sure you pull over and make accommodations. They're usually in a little more hurry than you are. The rain clouds had been chasing us all day long, and they finally caught up to us just a few minutes into the trail. This is going to make things a lot sloppier and definitely a little more interesting going up and down some of these obstacles. This Sedona dirt is a whole different type of mud. I think I still have Sedona mud under my Jeep from 2 years ago when I was here. After today, I'll be washing this stuff off forever. What you are about to witness here is hands down the most spectacular views I've ever experienced on any trail I've ever been on. Just as the rain stopped, a small hole opened up in the clouds, allowing the sunset to light up the mountains across the way, and it changed them from red to this brilliant gold color. What an unbelievable view. I can speak for the whole group and say this is a view we will never forget. Amazing. We finally reached the top of Devil's Staircase. And normally this is really a fairly easy descent. You just need to throw it into 4-low in first gear and inch your way down. But with this rain, we were going to be doing a little more sliding down this hill than we would have liked. This will get your attention.
You're good. You're doing great, bud. You're doing great. Nice and slow, just like that the rest of the way.
With Devil's Staircase behind us, it's just a short drive to the end of the trail. Now it's time to gather up and make our way to Schnebly Hill and then in search of a campsite. By the time we regrouped and entered the Schnebly Hill trailhead, the sun had already set. It was going to be a night run the whole way up. Now I've done this trail in the day, and the views as you are climbing are worth the rough and bumpy ride. This trail is rated as easy and is about 12 miles long, and I'll say I really enjoyed this trail when I ran it in the day, but traveling it at night, man, it just gives you a whole new perspective. I really love doing night runs from time to time. It gives you a good excuse to throw all these lights on and just go explore. Once we finally reached the top, we began airing up, only Randy was having a little bit of an issue.
So guys, Randy busted his valve stem here. You can see that it's leaking, so we're going to try to replace it, otherwise we're going to have to swap in the tire here in a second.
Thankfully, Marco had one of these valve stem repair tools, and we were able to do a quick repair here on the trail. This is something I'll be adding to my tool bag, a nice little handy gizmo. I'll leave a link down below. This is something you may want to consider carrying as well.
I think I'll be buying some of these. That's a nice little trail fix right there. So we just drove about 45 minutes north towards Flagstaff after doing Schnebly Hill. Got a nice quiet campsite up here in the mountains. But it is late. It's almost 11 o'clock, so we are going to set up camp and go to bed kind of early. All right, Marco, I know you got something special. What's for dinner tonight?
Mexican pizza. You know what would be good? Chorizo, beans, mozzarella cheese, jalapenos on the scuttle.
15 or 30 minutes. All right. That fires.
Oh, I ate it.
We got
Can you finish it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Can you? It's probably not going to do it.
Yeah, no, sure. So we didn't do a whole lot of filming this morning at camp because it was 33 degrees when I finally rolled out of my sleeping bag, and we were all pretty chilled. So we packed up all our gear, went and grabbed some breakfast in town, got some good cups of coffee, and now we're here in Williams, Arizona, and the guys from KC said, let me give you a tour of our shop. And you know, I'm a big fan of that show, How It's Made, to see how things are put together. So I'm really excited to go inside and check it out. Before we kind of end the trip, this is really kind of a cool way to kind of wrap things up before we all got to hit the road and head back to San Diego because I got to go to work tomorrow. So let's go inside and let's go see how they make these off-road lights. I think it'll be pretty cool.
KC Highlights has been around since the 70s, and they have some awesome modern technology in their lights, but it was really cool to see that they still had plenty of memorabilia around from when they first started out. It was cool to see all the old racing magazine covers and ads preserved. Inside their warehouse, they had a very laid-back feel. Bob Dylan was actually playing in the background, and everything was just very casual. Many of their employees had been there for many years. It seemed like a great, relaxed place to work. I'll admit it was a little overwhelming to see all these cool lights. I'm sure we would all love to have a shopping spree in here.
So guys, there's a shopping cart here, and look at all these lights. I'm gonna see if I can hook it up. Got some LZRs. I want to put some daylighters on my wife's JL, you know, with the little yellow smiley face. That would be cool, like maybe even 2 different beam patterns. That would be awesome. And then maybe some of these slim lights, I don't know, maybe for the XJ. That would be so cool. I love it. Look at all these lights.
No, you can't take these. These are our best sellers.
Oh, come on, man. Marco, what are you doing, man? I already got busted. Put that back. This has been such an amazing trip. I'm so glad we took this long weekend. The guys I was with, the trails we were on. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Look, if you are visiting Trail Recon for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the Trail Recon team. We got lots more of these kind of adventures coming here real soon. Please remember to always travel the trails responsibly. Thanks for watching.